Okay, this is like my 5th time trying this. You can't see my head, I'm sorry. All right, I just want to do this stretch because I find, especially I biked yesterday, I had a hard day yesterday, not a hard day, but a hard day. I was physical all day, and I need a really good kind of all over stretch without having to fight balance. So sitting on the ground is really good. If you have really super tight anything, this pose is going to be hard to do sitting down on the ground or on your bed. You can hang one leg off to the side and just do one leg, all right? Alignment is important in this pose. I want your toes and your knees pointing up to the ceiling, all right? Or completely straight ahead if you go into on point. See, that's point, that's flex, all right? That's another thing. Flex, make an angle bigger, all right? See how when I want to flex, how my knee kind of goes up? We don't want that to happen. We want to push the back of the knees to the ground while I'm flexing. That's a hard thing, and we'll go through that point, right? But the knees point up. See how I'm kind of internally rotating my hips, externally rotating my feet? I mean, I may on occasion do that stretch. In general, when I want you to do this pose, I call this flat back forward seated fold, all right? It might not be right, but so this is a good one. So align yourself first time. There's a little pelvic thing that kind of happens. See that? As when you sit and you lift from the belly button and you move your body back through space, you are turning on all your muscles you need to balance without your whole brain going into overload. This is kind of training your body for balance as long as you do it the way that I want you to do it, right? So you sit up, you're engaged, breathe in and breathe out. This itself might be hard. If you want to add a little level of lengthening, bring your arms by your side. Now, the tighter your shoulder is and the tighter and the poorer your posture is, it's going to be harder to do this length, right? So you bring one hand down, your left side maybe, flex your palm, flex your right, push down like you're pushing yourself up. Don't do that with your shoulders, okay? I don't want that. We're not, even then, even when I lift, we're not doing that. I don't want, your shoulders aren't earrings. Someone said that to, I'd like you to be able to see my face a little, although I don't have any makeup on like that, right? So you start here and watch how I lift from my belly button as I move my arm at full extension. And even as bendy as I am and as flexible as I am, I have to lengthen and correct myself quite often. But look at that difference. What it does to the jiggly, you'll be very surprised. Do it on the other side. So it start at your knee, fully extend, push out, right? You still have that activation and that alignment, even though, now you're at a different angle, but still your head, your shoulder, and your butt are all lined up. It's kind of good sometimes to do something like this. Take a broom and just hold it here just for a minute, all right? You hold it against your butt and against the opposite shoulder. It's kind of weird. See, you can't really, but now sit up straight, bring your head, and work from that. That is very hard to do. Notice what I'm doing, and I tell you not to do it. What am I doing? I'm hiking my shoulders in order to do that, right? You don't want to do that. Now, even as I go forward, all right, my head, a lot of you are going to want to do this. I don't want that. I want this. It's a good way to maintain flat back forward. And I want you to try it because I always, and when you do it on one side, do it on the other, all right? So it kind of crosses from your glute to your shoulder to the middle of your blades, shoulder blades. I want your head back against it, and I want lengthening from the belly button, pelvic tilt, breathe, do that. Now, you can't see it, but it's lifting because I'm not maintaining that activation. You can see that. I'm going to go back to the first side. I'm looser when I do both sides. All right, so I'm going to start with it behind me. Breathe straight. Even if I'm leaning, I'm still lengthening and aligning when I have this, all right? There's little tricks you can do. You can do athletic tape behind you, right? So, and I have to open my shoulders and open my chest and lengthen to get this. Breathe. Because if I'm not, watch what happens, right? And then people think that they're doing that, but we don't care about how deep you go to the pose. Some of us are going to get deeper. We do care. Ultimately, we want the pose to be corrective too. So breathe and hold. This is tight for me. So I'm going to come up. I'm going to breathe and hold. And back. Switch. Other way. Nice. Okay, sorry. Breathe. Flat back. Forward. Hold. Go. Nice. All right. That's kind of my alignment modification for that. Sit up straight. Breathe in. Breathe out. Great. Staff pose. Bring your arms. I was here before. I scooched back here. Breathe in and breathe out. And look at, you have to engage. You have to lift. You have to lengthen. Breathe out. Breathe in. I know I say it a lot. Just do it. Engage these. Now, a lot of the times I'll tell you, push the quads. Activate the quads to push the back of the knees to the ground without squeezing the glute. That is hard. Try it. Right now, I'm just kind of letting you do whatever you want. Squeeze your glute, right? You squeeze. It's a Kegel for women. Squeeze your butt. See how I can move? Bump, bump. It's actually isometrically contracting the glutes while you're sitting. Anywhere, driving in the car, sitting at the desk while I'm sitting here chatting with you, and you want me to stop talking, but do that. It's just so good for you. You squeeze opposite. You can do a lot in sitting in this pose. But now sit up straight, quad set. Breathe. So flat back forward. Flat back forward. Round your nose to your knee. Round the nose to your knee. See the difference? Flat back forward. I'm going to actually activate my things, my quads, my feet, my hands. I'm going to assist. I'm always looking ahead. In my pictures, I couldn't get it this week. I'm kind of like this. See my neck? I'm not in this alignment. And even when I'm rounding my nose to my knee, even when I'm doing that, there should be an alignment of my, I shouldn't be like this. There shouldn't be a break in the alignment. It's kind of like people with text neck. See? This is what I see a lot when I see people, they do this thing. I think in my pose of the day that I posted right here, so nice round. So around, there's a tuck in the pelvis, and you round over a big basketball. Watch, you round over. It doesn't just round from the shoulder. This is rounding from the shoulder. Well, here. This is rounding from the shoulder. It's actually much easier to touch the toes than tilting the pelvis and then round. See the difference? You get kind of both. Breathe in and out and look left and look right. And breathe in. Now bring your hands behind. Okay. You gotta do a fish. You're gonna lose me. You're gonna lose my feet, but I have my toes on point, my quads is set, my pelvis is tilted. My hands come under my butt in this shape. So my thumb comes right along my butt, my hand comes alongside my the outside of the glute. Alright? It's like the letter L. You come down, bring your head back. Go to where you feel this. All right, like where you start feeling this. Now there's a pelvic tilt that happens because you can collapse. You can do this, actually, and you can become this and round. Okay, or you can be straight. You can have one. You can have the other. We can do all kinds of ab things, and we can compensate when we do that. I don't want compensation. I want you to be able to go back in a full engaged extension fish. Breathe in and breathe out. Right. Bring the elbows back. You can't drop into it. You have to be able to come down one and then two very slowly. Breathe. Do not hook your neck. Allow alignment and length. Now, while I like to hold poses for 2 seconds, when I first go into something like this, I want to hold it for a little longer, so breathe in and breathe out, and just let your head drop to the ground more from the belly button. Now, if you need to, we can kind of be a mermaid. Let your feet open. Let them roll open. And then breathe in, come up, come here, roll your feet in, push yourself up, lift. I'm going to have you lengthen and grab your left foot. And then come up and breathe and lift. And I'm going to move back so you can see. I'm sorry. You do have a thing, but sometimes all of a sudden, breathe. I decide to do a video without anybody. I just go, oh, I want to do this video because I think this is a good stretch. Breathe, reach. Awesome. Come up. Now, do you see how effortless this is kind of becoming for me? I think it's the 2-second holds. 2 seconds and release. Because of the stretch reflex, we don't let that happen. Breathe. I think it's because we activate the correct muscles for this movement, and that's why it's so important for sports. Now, you see how I'm going into that? You can go back down left and then right, but you come from that arc. Like you're going to dive and look behind you. Breathe. That's the ab strength that I want, all right? Breathe in and breathe out, come up. And then now round. The difference is I'm not pulling my shoulders, all right? I'm not. It's all moving from here. It's so good. Breathe. Namaste.